Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Talk Fort Dodge with Todd and Jeremiah. And this week we have none other than Luke Hugghins with us. Luke, I think his real job is McClure Engineering, but he is the most connected person in Fort Dodge with everything that's going on. It's just amazing. It's great to have you here, Luke. And can you tell us just a little bit about yourself so everybody knows, if they don't know you, who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I want to thank you guys for having me on and for having this platform. Something different, and I'm glad I get to tune in today and be part of it. Again, my name is Luke Hugghins. I work with McClure Engineering here in Fort Dodge, just right downtown across from the Laramar, and I serve as a project manager, helping oversee a variety of infrastructure projects, sewer, water, airport runways, land development, all those kind of things. But then, yeah, as you mentioned, I have a hard time saying no. So I'm in a lot of different organizations throughout the community, and certainly honored to be a part of a lot of those as well. So we got a lot of good people, and excited for the discussion.
Yay. Well, on all those boards, like one of them is Ragbri, and that's pretty exciting because like last time when Ragbri came through, it was so fun for the city. Do you want to tell us if there's anything specially planned or anything that we should know about, anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, sure. So the role I serve on Ragbri is through the Beverage Garden Committee, and that's also lumped in with a few other committees being entertainment and the vendors. And so we all meet about every week or every other week just to update each other on what's going on with that. And then our chair of that committee is Ann Zwink, who sits on the executive committee. So that's the overall Ragbri committee for our region. And so we all stay pretty in touch because we're meeting so often and communicating via email and phone calls and those kind of things. But we were just updated on the numbers, and again, everybody's expecting about 20,000 people to be coming through town as part of Ragbri. So I know there was some question as to with COVID and other developments with Ragbri how the numbers would turn out, and so I think we as a community are certainly excited to see that kind of tourism and people coming through as on top of the locals that'll want to participate in all the activities. And so that's one thing that'll be different this year, given the COVID. We were given direction that it'd be nice if we could spread things out a little bit. And so the entertainment, where that's typically been one stage in the past, everything will be downtown, but it'll be spread out from 12th Street all the way down to the square. And we'll be targeting 3 different musical stages. So there'll be one somewhere up by 12th Street, one probably down by the Wells Fargo building, and then one close to the square. And so people will have the opportunity to just walk all the way down Central, buy all the vendors, and to just explore the different music of the local bands that are booked up. So I think that'll be
awesome.
Unique. Yeah, it'll be unique and something different. And again, allow people to spread out, but also just kind of see different things along Central Avenue.
It'll be like downtown in the 90s. I don't know if you guys might be too young, but you used to bar hop. So you'd start at one side of town, and then every block or half block, there was always another bar. So you'd go from one to the next, and you'd go all night downtown. It was just amazing. And it sounds like, Ragbri's kind of bringing that back to what, Fort Dodge used to be with that. I mean, that was so much fun.
That's why I'm excited, again, to see just the buzz downtown and, being involved with Main Street Fort Dodge as well. Anything to get people downtown and excited about being down here is a great thing. And back on the beverage side of things, we're doing something a little different in that nothing's finalized yet, but as of right now, the plan is that we're not planning to set up an independent beer garden where we'll set up a tent and compete for sales downtown. Given the year that the hospitality industry has endured over the last year and a half almost, we wanted to push the business to those local bars and restaurants. And so we're working through a program where, we'll be able to partner with them on, maybe it's ticket sales. And then those bars or restaurants will be able to turn in the tickets and get some money on the back end for that. And we'll sell those tickets at the campgrounds and downtown, and it'd be open to any liquor license holder in Fort Dodge. So we're still working out the final details on that, but that's the plan for right now. So
that's so awesome. It's been a rough year.
Last time they came through, I had just sold a house over by Dodger Stadium. And, Dodger Stadium probably had 3,000 tents, like just lining up for Ragbri. Well, the next day I called my client that had just moved in probably like a month earlier. And it's like, sorry, I never told you that you're going to have like 3,000 neighbors, And he laughed. He goes, oh my gosh, it was great. He goes, the wife and I were sitting outside having a beer, and some bike riders were coming by and they asked us for a beer, and I give them to him. He goes, Then I ran to the store and picked up 5 cases of Bud Light and started selling them at $2 in my driveway.
That makes it easy. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And
Fun.
you talk about Main Street, and so the city has a couple programs, and most people, if you've been downtown, you see the results of them. There's a facade improvement loan, and then the 11 and 1200 block just did that grant, and Chris talked about that with us last week. But it's exciting to have 20,000 people downtown Fort Dodge to see the changes we've made and how cool that space has become. So thank you for being on the RAGBRAI committee, and thank you for pushing them towards downtown. As a downtown business owner, it just means a lot to me. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Absolutely. And, again, it's nice to have everything downtown and highlight our core historic business district. And, we've had Main Street members like Mary Kay Daniel, for instance, want to take up having windows painted. So she's going to be partnering with local artists to paint windows of the different businesses downtown, and just have unique ideas like that to add a little flair, to have all the people coming through, and we'll
almost like a welcome card. Yeah,
absolutely. And so just unique things like that, there's still time if anybody else has any of those that they want to throw our way and we can implement, we'd certainly like to run with them. So.
Yep. And speaking of Main Street, tell us about the Main Street board and what you do with Main Street.
Yeah. So, it started as the SMID board, which many may have been familiar with in the past. And that was back in about 2017. And so SMID is a self-sustaining municipal improvement district, I believe. Or self-supported municipal improvement district. So what that is it's just an incremental tax that is voted on by a majority of the property owners in that district in the defined boundary. And then that increment is used towards improvements within that district. And so Fort Dodge was a Main Street community years ago. And so several of the SMID board members thought it'd be a great time to get back into an accredited Main Street program through Main Street of Iowa. And so that process worked out smoothly, working with the city, working with the Growth Alliance. And then, of course, we hired Chris Patrick, who's done a phenomenal job. And just looking at her director's report every month, there's just so many things that Main Street has going on. Of course, we're instrumental in, lately our initiatives have been clean and safe. We want to make sure that the downtown is inviting and clean and safe and friendly.
The garbage cans are out.
Yeah, so the garbage cans are out. So if you've seen those, we've implemented the Pick It Up Fort Dodge, which we got some grant money to help with some of that. We partnered with the school districts to fabricate these different garbage containers. So you'll see those up and down Central Avenue. We still have 14 more to put out. But we're working on a surveillance system, a full camera implementation program as well. So Main Street has already set aside money to partner with the city in doing that. So that'll be a district-wide camera system. So we hope to implement that as soon as possible. There's, of course, the parking, which everyone loves to hate talking about, whichever way you want to talk about that. Of course, we serve the role in getting feedback from the businesses and the property owners on what some of those issues like parking or traffic or some of those things, how we can partner with the city to implement solutions. And so we play a nice liaison role, as well as getting, some of that funding you mentioned for facades. There's just a lot going on. I could go on for quite a while about Main Street, but it's certainly an asset to our community, along with Chris Patrick as the staff.
Oh, she's been awesome. Like, we interviewed her last week, and there's the stuff she's done, and she's got another one of those roles that's just tough to be in. And she just knocks it out of the park. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like
in the last 5 years, there's been so much more going on in downtown than ever before. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even from Santa Claus, we used to always go to the mall when we were younger, but now we go downtown on the square. Now with COVID, it was kind of different because we stayed in the cars, but this year for Santa Claus, we were like, hey, I don't know if you have anything to do with any of that, but.
Yeah, all those special events, just think of the lighting on the Christmas tree there by Darriette in the triangle piece there. That was a couple $1,000s worth of lighting, and it takes Main Street to just play that middle person to coordinate how you get the volunteers and help raise some funds and put those small things together. But after a while, a lot of those small things add up. So
yeah, they do.
And all of that for a 30-second show.
Yeah.
But it stays on all the month. It's a month-long show.
But it's something for memories forever.
Yep.
For those little
Absolutely.
Ones. So cute. Switch gears a little bit. We've had a lot going on for Dodge with our water and the water supply, starting with the water plant. And we've never had anybody on to kind of tell us what's going on with that. And we understand that you know something about this.
Yeah. So again, I work at McClure Engineering, where we oversee a lot of these infrastructure projects. And And so our role is to design and put out what people commonly refer to as the blueprints or the plans, and so those will go out to bid, and then the contractor, of course, bids on those, takes them and goes and builds it. And then we make sure that it's being built correctly according to plan and that it all functions properly in the end. And so we served that role for the reverse osmosis water treatment plant expansion project. And so, with that, it's going to improve. Well, it has improved the end water quality that comes into through all of our taps in our homes. And with the reverse osmosis process, that's putting water through the membrane filters that then removes all the things you don't want in the water. And it's a byproduct of that process is you won't need as much salt in your home water softener. If you turn it down, you'll get what it came out to. It's about 75% less hard of water. So, you'd use about 25% of the salt you used before in your home or in your business. And so that's certainly a positive thing when looking at the end water result in our homes and having soft water. So, a lot of people still prefer 100% soft water. So you'll still want to use some salt, but you won't have to use as much as you did before. So
when it's now a safe time to turn your water softener down?
Yeah, it should be all completely through the system now, the treated water. Yep. And so, you call your plumber, call your service provider for your water softener, and they can help you through that.
Pull up a YouTube video.
Yeah, if you trust yourself for that, sure.
There you go. I can break it and then call somebody to come fix it.
Yeah, do it myself and then call somebody later because I screwed it up and I'm running 3 times more than I should.
Yeah, I think it costs twice as much if you do that, but that's fine. At least you tried.
Yeah. But yeah, currently it's the largest reverse osmosis plant in the state, so it's pretty cool and something to show off for the city of Fort Dodge, and we're certainly proud to be a part of it.
That's so cool.
With that, I heard that our water supply and everything was very similar to like Flint, Michigan. Is that true? Or, that's why we kind of implanted stuff? Or is that just a stupid rumor?
Well, I don't know enough. I don't want to be the one to speak to what the issues are in Flint, but we're nowhere near anything that dire or any of the danger that comes with that. One of the reasons that you blend the water, like I mentioned, is 75% RO water, and then we blend in some of the previously treated water. It's just so that, you don't run into some of the issues you'd have if you just ran clear RO water through some old pipes that may, mineralize some of the water. And so, again, I don't know enough about Flint's specific situation. I know they changed their source water from one area, from one lake to, another river in the area that had different inputs. And so a lot of the chemical imbalance that comes with that. And if you didn't update your treatment process, obviously there can be some issues. But, the city here ran pilot studies on 2 different systems. And so we knew going into it before ever going into the heavy construction, what the output would be. We knew what the inputs would be, and, did all the due diligence that goes along with that. So
there was a lot of education done ahead of time to help with that.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. You want to cross all your T's and dot all your I's, obviously. So, and that's
what clear engineering does right there.
Yeah, exactly. See, I like the echoing sentiment there. But yeah, we're also really lucky, and I'm not just sucking up here, but Tony Trotter is the city engineer, comes with a heavy water and wastewater background. And so it's nice when we can sit in a design review meeting with a client and they can say, are you sure you've thought about this? Or why don't we try it like that? Because he truly understands it as good as anyone. So we're lucky to have him locally as a resource as well.
Somebody to question to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So that's cool. We're going to switch gears one last time before we close up and talk about young professionals. You're past president of Young Professionals, and the rumor I heard from a local banker at Green State was you neither have to be young nor professional to be in Young Professionals. But tell us a little bit about that. And it's such a large organization from a cohort that normally doesn't volunteer for stuff like that. So tell us about Young Professionals, your role in it, and kind of what you're looking for if anybody is interested in being a young professional.
Yeah, sure. So I say the same thing in that, it's young professionals, but you don't have to be young and you don't have to be a professional. Our only requirement is that most of our members anyways are over the age of 21, because there are some independently served alcohol at some of our events, and that's the only reason. But we also have a lot of interns and co-ops that'll participate in our events, outside of those. And so, anybody who wants to come or comes to town or is a local and grew up here, it just serves as a great way to not only meet people and build a network, but just to get involved in different things in the community. So when we partnered with Sertoma, for instance, to take over the holiday lights at Kennedy, so all the Christmas light displays out there, that each of those nights are run by volunteers from Young Professionals. So it offers a great way to give back to the community, partner, and meet the people out there. But then, we'll have events like random camping events. We'll go down to Brushy and camp out there. We'll have cookouts out at Kennedy. We'll play sand volleyball every week down at Amigos on Thursdays. We have running clubs, biking clubs every week. So a multitude of events, flag football. So, and then again, the special ones throughout. And so it's really served as a nice way for people just to get to know new people, whether you're local or you move to town. For instance, I met Jeremiah through Young Professionals, and I had just moved back from college. So, I ended up buying a house through Jeremiah because he was the first realtor I met, and I met him through there. And then, I met the guy who does my taxes through there. I met Brian Peterson, who did my water softener, through there. So all of a sudden, when you're getting into the community and needing some of these things, people by name and you have their phone number and you can call them for help or anything like that. Not only just to hang out and go have a beer. So,
and it is fun. We went to the Willow Ridge for that dinner when the Chef Michael came out and taught everyone how to cook. And you had to get just a group of 4. And we mixed with another couple that we kind of knew, but we never really hung out with. And we had so much fun that night. Jenny and I, we were with the Flatteries. And our meal was not the best one. But John went and tried to buy him a drink and tried to move us up the rank a little bit.
We're not above bribes.
But it was fun, and it forced us to hang out with someone that you don't normally do, and we had so much fun that night. And so those are great events.
That's what it's about, and those unique ones. Again, we've done bartending classes, we've done table manner classes where you just sit and have a dinner and learn about table manners. So there's things that are just unique, and that's another thing. If anybody's not involved now, they want to get involved, and they're just want a way where they can get friends together to do something they like, throw us the idea, and we'll be happy to hold those events and bring all our other membership who want to come along, come with us. So
that's awesome. Well, we appreciate your time today. I mean, you do a lot of stuff. We could probably talk for another hour, but
we always have one fun question, so I have to ask you.
Oh, here it is.
I know you like to fly your airplanes. So have you ever done any like loop-de-loops or any of that fun stuff that you see like on Pearl Harbor at the beginning when they like play chicken and stuff?
Yeah. No, I haven't done that. I was actually just talking to our newest instructor here in Fort Dodge is Austin Hill. He's the pastor at First Presbyterian Church and the current vice president of the Growth Alliance too. But, he's officially a certified flight instructor. And he was telling me about a school he went to where they started doing some of those. And he didn't get sick, but it didn't sound like anything I want to try anytime soon. And the rental plane out at the airport's designed too well that it won't even let you do too many of those things. So I'll just keep cruising as smooth as I can, and you're welcome to join me anytime.
Well, every time I see a plane, because I live on the north side of town, almost every time I see a plane, I'm like, I wonder if that's Luke up there.
Well, I'm waving to you. Just picture me waving to you.
The whole time you're above there, you're like, hey. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here today, Luke. And, everything you have is such good information. The water treatment plant, RAGBRAI, you're doing a lot of stuff that make Fort Dodge a better place to live, work, and play. And that's kind of the point of this show is to let everybody know this, it's a great place to be. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. And thanks for being part of that.
Fort Dodge.
Yeah, once again, I want to thank you guys for having me. And I hope, if anything, I've encouraged some people to want to get involved in some of these other things too. Always want to encourage more and more volunteers and community participation. And you guys are examples of that as well. So thanks again for having me.
Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Bye.
See ya.